Welcome into this episode of Coach's Corner. Jordan Woodruff with you, and good to have you along. Today's episode brought to you by Betcher, Deviney, Engel, and Wicker. And we're joined now by the head girls wrestling coach, Richard Agee. And Coach, good to have you along.
Good to be here.
Hey, let's get right into it. We're getting ready to get started up. It's
here.
It's here. It seems like you wait a long time for it, but then when it's here, it seems like it hits you fast.
Yeah, and it seems like, you're waiting excited for season to get here, and you're like, I didn't get this done. There just seems to be so much more that you could have done. It's hard to be 100% prepared when it starts.
Yeah. All right. First thing, welcoming a new coach. So talk a little bit about the new coach and how they're helping.
So me and Tony, Coach Tony Arbona, we've been doing this for a couple of years and needed another coach, and we had the opportunity to get Anthony Whetstone. He was the Ark City girls head coach, and we had the opportunity to get him on staff, and it's nice to have. He's walked in my shoes. He knows the day-to-day operations that's got to be done. So between him and Tony, they take care of a lot of the day-to-day operations, and we are on the mat together, and it's going good. It's nice to have a third set of eyes in there.
Well, and a lot of times when you have that third coach, nothing against it, but a lot of times you'll bring somebody younger in. Maybe they're learning how. So to have somebody with experience is a big plus.
Yeah, he's coached since 1999, so he's been involved in wrestling. He like I said, he's walked in my shoes. He knows the things that's got to be taken care of, and he's helped him take that off my shoulders.
All right, let's get into the girls that are going to be wrestling for you. So let's first off talk about who you have coming back from last year that you have a lot of promise with.
We got a couple of them. Let's just start right there at the top. We got Paley Miller that's going to wrestle heavyweight for us. We got Fiona Schalk that's working for us and trying to add some new stuff to her repertoire. We got Breely Welch that's coming back, and Breely has stepped it up. She's got first place at the last two open tournaments, and she's really come along. And it drops all the way down to Vanessa Chavez, one of our senior leaders. And Vanessa's fought some shoulder injuries, but she's in the room working and shows some promise. You got Brinley Stoll, who stepped into regionals last year for us, and she's coming along. She's a little bigger body than she was last year. Don't take that the wrong way, but she got on the weights with us this summer. A lot of these girls we lifted, and we're all a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. And then we got Marley Arbona, who Marley made a big showing at the regional tournament last year, and did a lot of freestyle and lifting weights. Probably one of the strongest girls I've ever seen, pound for pound. Below Marley, we've got some young girls we got Ella Kimbrell that's going to step in. Ryan Jones is going to step in, and then we start bringing some freshmen into the lineup. We've got some freshmen that physically and technique-wise, they're ready.
Yeah.
The mental part of it, especially in 6A, that's what we got to work on. So we got now to regionals to get them ready to go.
Well, and part of that mental, I would think, is getting out there and doing it, and taking your lumps. I mean, that's part of it. I mean, you were a wrestler. You understand that's how it is. And with that, they got the tools, but they just got to, like you said, wrestling on this level. We talk about 6A boys being so tough. 6A girls, it's right there with it as far as the of wrestlers. So it's daunting for those younger ones. But if you can get them in there, like I said, take a few lumps. By the end of the season, they got a chance to grow up a lot.
Yeah. So we've got Heather Weaver that'll step in, and JC Wardlow that'll step in, both around 100 pounds. Both are tough. Both know their way around the mat, know some technique. They wrestled all summer for us and lifted. We got Nyree Coburn, Jordan Farmer. I mean, I know I'm going to forget somebody, but we've got a lot of girls that are ready to step in, and they just got to be willing to take their lumps, and let's see where we end up at the end of the year.
How much easier is it getting the longer you're coaching girls? So
It don't ever get easier.
So you don't find yourself. I mean, you don't find yourself knowing how to handle things a little bit better after doing some years of it now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's easier in that respect, right?
Yeah, we had a really good first year, and so the next year we go in with higher expectations, and then we have a little setbacks, and then we go in the third year higher expectations, and there's some setbacks. It's a growing process, but I don't know if it ever gets easier because you're always expecting a little bit more. You're trying to get to that next level, so I don't know if it ever gets easier, but maybe if we didn't have such high expectations, it would get easier.
On that, what are your expectations? I mean, you have reasonable expectations, but then you have your goals as well. So what are those this year for you, your girls?
I feel like we could possibly qualify 5 or 6 girls for the state tournament. My first year, I felt like if we had drawn a different region, I felt like we would have, instead of 4, we would have had 8 in.
Yeah.
Last year, I felt like if we'd gone to another region, instead of 1, we'd had 4 in.
You might as well face it, though. They're never going to send you to the right region.
Well, and the grass always seems greener on the other side. Right. And so, that's just hindsight, looking at it. But our expectations are high, but, you got to learn to walk before you can run. And like I said, we've got a young team. Something that we're doing, we're working with some 5th and 6th graders. We're not doing no competition. They're just learning their way around the mat. They're learning to wrestle. And like I said, that's one of those things, your expectations are higher. Mm-hmm. And so we've got 10 or 11 6th grade girls that are coming in working, and they know they're not going to go compete. They're just learning. They come and watch our girls. They come and watch practice, and then they get on the mat, and we work with them, and we'll see where we wind up at the end of the year.
Well, and sometimes it's tough, too, because those younger ones, when you see them, you sometimes forget they're younger if they got good technique and skill, right? And you got to remind yourself as a coach, hey, I want to push them, but I don't maybe need to push them too hard because we need to make sure that that they're staying. They're going to love this, and they got a chance to be really good.
Yeah. I'll tell you the one thing is they got so much more energy. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm not a spring chicken. And these girls are just excited to be there. It's a lot of fun. But like I said, they got a lot of energy, and it's hard to match sometimes.
Yeah. Well, keeps you young.
Yeah.
In a big way, even though the beard doesn't show it.
Covers up a lot of ugly, though.
Hey, Coach, really appreciate time. Best of luck coming up. Before last thing, for sure this time, when do you guys get started officially, and when can people come out and watch you?
We've had 2 open tournaments the past 2 weekends. Saturday, we're going to Guthrie. Last night, we actually had the red and blue duel. We had the kids club duels in front of that, and you want to see some kids that are, man, them kids, they get around.
Yeah.
I mean, they know some wrestling, and it's good to have that feeding into the programs. Our boys team has showed a lot of improvement from last year to this year. It's like, wow, they're coming on.
Yeah.
I look forward to some good things for them and some celebrations with Coach Moore.
I think your first one is at the Bridge Creek, Tonka kind of try in December. That's a home one, right?
Yeah, that's here for the boys. We go down to Bridge Creek because that night after we wrestle Bridge Creek, we're going on down to Cache.
Okay.
And we wrestle that tournament down there. And we're hosting a tournament this year here.
Right.
We're going to try to make use of that new facility. It's hard to get a tournament started. We have the capacity that we could run 40 teams in here on 9 mats.
Wow.
And that was my expectations, my hopes, and my goals. And I think we're going to be in the neighborhood of 400 girls competing on. We could do 9 mats, but I think we just go down to 6 mats.
Right. Yeah.
But that's something that we want to build on.
Yeah.
And just get it started. It's always hard to get it started. But after it's rolling, now we've got some commitments from Texas and Kansas and Missouri for next year. So we'll start bringing some teams in.
Well, when it comes to North Central Oklahoma, people understand that wrestling is king up here in this area, and they all know that in those other states. So just a chance to come up here and wrestle against the best is very luxurious to a
Yes.
lot of teams.
Yes. I just, like I said, I had hopes and dreams of a big tournament, but it's just difficult
You'll
to
get there.
get it started the first year.
Word gets out once you do
It
a good
does.
tournament. No
It
doubt
does.
about it. So, Coach, really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Coach Richard Agee, make sure you get out there and support girls wrestling this season, as there'll be a lot of opportunities for you to do so, and we're excited to see what they can do. Thanks to Chris behind the camera. As always, Jordan Woodruff saying so long for this episode of Coach's Corner, and until next time, go Cats.